One day, Percy was standing at the junction. He had a long goods train which he had to take to Tidmouth, but he had to wait for Henry to pass by the passenger train before he can go. Henry was late, but the sun was warm and Percy didn't mind. At last, Henry arrived. "Sorry, I'm late," he panted. "I had to wait for ages for a connection at the other railway. Did you know," he went on, "that they have goods trains on the other railway? They don't have breakvans. It doesn't seem right, does it? You've still got yours, I'm glad to see. Ah, there's the signal. I must try to make up for lost time. Goodbye." And he puffed importantly away. Percy told his driver what Henry had said about breakvans. His driver laughed. "Goods trains on the other railway have special brakes," he explained, "like passenger trains and Henry's flying kipper. They don't need breakvans. Your trucks just have couplings, so they need a brakes at each end of the train in case a coupling snaps. You know how stupid trucks are. They did it to James and Gordon's Hill, remember?" "Phew," scoffed Percy. "That's because James was careless." "Why do I have the feeling that someone was talking about me? And besides, I know how to keep my trucks in order. What's good enough for the other railway is good enough for me. I don't need a stupid brake van." "Don't be silly, Percy," said his driver. But Percy took no notice. It would have been better if he had. A few days later, Percy was shunting trucks at the harbour near the big station. He was just completing his train by backing onto the Breakvan when the shunter's attention was distracted. "What's happening?" "Oh, grease and oil." The shunter thought he had coupled the breakvan to the train, but he hadn't. The guard blew his whistle, and Percy set off quickly, hoping to get a run up the hill leading to the main line. But the guard and the breakvan were left behind. The guard waved and shouted, but Percy didn't hear. He was too busy climbing the hill. All might have went well if Percy had not started so quickly. Unfortunately, the jerk had weakened one of the couplings. As Percy snorted up the hill, the weight of the loaded trucks dragging behind the weak coupling broke it. The last 4 trucks began to run back down the slope towards the harbour. The guard was sitting on the veranda of his brake van, and he saw the trucks coming. Quickly, he ran to his brake handle and checked it was fully on, then jumped clear, just in time. The trucks hit the brake van with a resounding crash. The Breakvan shuddered and was pushed along the line, but somehow it stayed on the rails, and the truck's mad rush was halted. Meanwhile, Percy's firemen had noticed that they had lost the tail of their train. Percy came slowly back down the hill to see what had happened. "Phew," remarked Percy's driver as they helped to clear up the mess. "You see, Percy, Breakvans do have their uses after all." And Percy had to admit that his driver was right.